This week's video has been inspired actually by Southwestern Vehicle Auctions, who posted a comment on the website just on Thursday to say how much they were looking forward to us to going back to see them again in April of 23. And of course we are big fans of Southwestern Vehicle Auctions. They are local to us, but there's a certain regional flavour to what they do there that I love. It's a great place to go visit. They're now open for visitors following the pandemic, so highly recommend you go back in April this year and have a look and see what's on sale this time around. Now for us, the great guy there was Owen Shepherd, who's in charge of the digital and marketing side, and of course he welcomed us to the auctions back in, well, a year ago really, and showed us all around the hall, auction hall, and a few cars that were there for sale, including a lovely TR6 which was beautiful, a Lotus Europa, and a very old MG which was a really interesting car. And the TR6 being so good, and actually went for £16,800 in the end, with qualified 66,000 miles on the clock, and a whole heap of fantastic uprated spec camshafts, cam followers, rebores, new pistons and rings, new timing chains, you name it, it had had the works done to it. I must admit it's in a beautiful red colour with the black interior, as you can see here, proper old TR6. So we're well impressed with that, with a black tail there that was unique for its time. But they also had several other cars there as well, including this Triumph Stag, which only went for £5,000. We covered it on the film, and go back on the channel and have a look if you want to have a look. But it went for £5,000. The paintwork I think needs a little bit of support. The TR6 here, that was a bargain at £9,600. Again, needed a little bit of love, care and attention, but it was a nice looking car. And then there was a beautiful Triumph 2000 in a kind of brownish colour, K registered, went for 5,600, and then a little dinky little Herald, which I love because this was my first ever car, that went for 2,700 in the end. So it was really good to see all that. And I guess what inspired me was this week when they made a note on the YouTube channel to go and have another look and see what's coming up in this April 2023's auction. And yeah, obviously there's quite a few up for sale, but this really took my breath away. There's a beautiful TR4 IRS independent rear suspension 1966 up for grabs. It's on the website. Go and have a look if you'd like to. And having done a bit of research what this car was all about, these were produced from 1961 up to 1967. The Triumph TR4 combined a new, modern and aggressive body design by the famed Italian stylist we all know and love, Giovanni Michelotti, with the basic chassis of the previous TR3A. Now the TR4 also improved passenger comfort with wind-up windows, face-level ventilation and an optional hardtop, and they look the absolute DBs, I reckon. And of course, when equipped with the optional overdrive, the TR4 was good for a top speed of almost 110 miles an hour. That was pretty fast for back in those days. Now, following on from the TR4, this car, the new TR4A, was phased in smoothly at the beginning of 1965 and introduced an all-new independent rear suspension system. That's where the IRS comes from, which provided exceptional rear-wheel camber control and excellent wheel travel, while softer springs improved the ride quality as well. And the press were very happy to see an all-independent car, and Triumph was pleased to be the first British car manufacturer to have an all-independent suspension, in fact under every car in their lineup, which was a great steal at the time, a great advancement. And with this TR4 IRS, the description that comes at the auction from the vendor is that they've owned this 1965, registered in 1966 actually, Triumph TR4A IRS since September 2013. It's in good usable condition and in regular use. The car has been garaged throughout its ownership, and the car is a pleasure to drive, with a powerful engine, smooth gear change and a working overdrive as well. And just imagine that joy of having that top down and whizzing along in a bright sunny aspect in the forest or out in the countryside somewhere. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Apparently the original logbooks are included, as is the history and its MOTs dating from way back to the early 1970s, in fact right through to the present day. There's a full tonneau and hood cover and also included in the sale, and they reckon they've spent well over £3,000 during their ownership on upgrades and renovation in lots and lots of different ways. So a pretty well looked after and loved car, I have to say. And when we talk about the upgrades they've spent and invested on it, they've put a new mohair hood on it, a new carpet set. It actually has the red leather MX5 seats. They do have the originals and they will be included in the sale, which is great to hear. So your choice as to whether you wanted to fit one or the other. I think it looks okay as it is, and probably safer with the head restraint there. Stainless steel 4-branch manifold, so that's worth a few quid, I have to say. Electronic ignition, electric fan, Spax front dampers, poly-bushed front suspension, so it's been done properly underneath with new sills, and a power light starter motor, which I think is quite a powerful starter motor for it. And as I say, year of manufacture is 1966, 1st of February, and it's got chassis numbers and engine numbers. You can look it all up on the website. Estimated sale price between £8,500 and £9,500, which I think is a lot of car for the money. And I've not seen it up close and personal. It'd be worth making an appointment to go see them. You know, you can go and have a good look. You have to phone up Owen or someone, and just make the appointment to go see it. But it's well worth having a good look round. And when you look at the other cars that are out there for the amounts of money they've went for, as I showed you earlier on with the TR6, then interesting just what is on the market, and well worth a punt. There you go. So the auction is on Friday the 28th of April 2023 at the Southwestern Vehicle Auctions. As I say, they're very happy for you to make an appointment and go see them. And what a car, and I'll be really interested to see what happens at the sale day. And we will of course be covering the rest of the cars on auction for that date in April in good time. I just wanted to focus on the Triumph TR4 IRS today because it's such a lovely car. So watch this space. We'll keep you up to date, and look out for us online very soon.